Hello students and welcome back to BankExamsToday.com. My name is Ramandeep Singh. Students, Indian Bank Specialist Officer Recruitment notification has been released and today we are going to discuss that. First of all, the last day to apply, 13th of October is the last day to apply for the exam. Okay. And there are vacancies for corporate credit, financial analyst and risk managers. For corporate credit, scale 4. For Chief Manager Corporate Credit Analyst, minimum age to apply 28 years, maximum age to apply 36 years, and there are 15 vacancies. So the age is calculated by the date of 1st of September 2025. सारी age ये जो calculate हो रही है, it should be calculated on 1st of September 2025. For Senior Manager Corporate Credit Scale 3, minimum age to apply 26, max age to apply 33 and 15 vacancies are there. For Corporate Credit Scale 2, minimum age to apply 24, max age to apply 31 and 10 vacancies are there. Chief Manager Financial Analyst Scale 4, minimum age to apply 29, max age to apply is 36 and 5 vacancies are there. Senior Manager Financial Analyst Scale 3, minimum age to apply 27, maximum age to apply 33 and total 3 vacancies are there. For Financial Analyst, minimum age to apply 25, maximum age to apply 31 and 4 vacancies are there. For Risk Management, minimum age to apply 28, maximum age to apply 36 and 4 vacancies are there. For Risk Management Scale 3, minimum age to apply 25, max age to apply is 33 and 7 vacancies are there. For Risk Manager Scale 2, minimum age to apply is 23, maximum age to apply is 31 and 7 vacancies are there. So relaxation is available for SC, ST, OBC, PW, BD, persons affected by 1984 riots, Sikh riots, and ex-servicemen, commissioned officer, they are getting the relaxation in the age criteria. So for Chief Manager Corporate Credit Scale 4, Corporate Credit Analysis Analyst Scale 4, qualification required. It's a bit complicated, but that's what it is. So either you are a chartered accountant or graduation and 2-year graduation and 2-year full-time MBA. आपने graduation करा BCom with 2-year full-time MBA or MMS in finance. So minimum 6 years of post-qualification experience in credit appraisal, corporate credit and scheduled commercial banks. One more important thing here. Subsidiary of scheduled commercial bank is also acceptable, right? Work experience जो है एक subsidiary of a scheduled commercial bank is also acceptable. So analyst and RBI approved rating agency, that experience is also acceptable. So desirable certifications are there from NIBM, Moody's, but that's not mandatory, right? So if you have not done MBA in finance, if you have done PGDBA, PGDBM or CAIIB, even then you are eligible. आपका eligibility तब भी बनता है, right? So 7 years of work experience is required. In that case, instead of 6, 7 years of work experience is required. So experience in the credit processing of credit proposals in large corporate branches, extra large corporate branches, corporate offices, project finance unit, corporate credit, mid corporate credit, etc. वो सारा experience is acceptable, right? 7 years of experience is required. For Senior Manager Scale 3, Senior Manager Credit Analyst, Corporate Credit Analyst Scale 3. So either you are a CA or a graduation in any discipline plus along with that MBA in finance, right? Or MMS in finance. Full time चाहिए, not part time, right? So 4 years of work experience is required. We corporate credit, processing of credit proposals, work experience in subsidiary of a scheduled commercial bank is also acceptable. In case you have not done MBA and if you have done graduation with CAIIB, even then you are eligible. Minimum 5 years of work experience, post-qualification work experience is required in processing of credit proposals. All these certifications are desirable, not mandatory. For corporate credit scale 2, 2 years of work experience is required. Rest of the things are same. And if you have not done MBA in finance, 3 years of work experience is required if you have done graduation with CAIIB. For Chief Manager, Financial Analyst, Scale 4, and Senior Manager, Financial Analyst, Scale 3, Manager, Financial Analyst, Scale 2, the qualification required is same. So either you have done a Chartered Accountancy course, CMA course, CFA, then you are eligible. Any residential program conducted by NABM, it's in credit or risk, that is desirable. So 6 years of post-qualification experience is required for Scale 4 in processing of credit proposal as an officer in corporate credit in any scheduled public sector bank or scheduled private sector bank. 4 years of work experience is required for the Scale 3. 2 years of work experience is required in Scale 2. Okay. For Chief Manager, Risk Management, Scale 4, CA, CFA or Master's degree in Mathematics, Statistics, Finance or Economics or Engineering graduate, and 2 years post graduate degree diploma in Management, Banking or Finance, right? Experience mandatory, minimum 8 years of experience in bank, PSU, NBFC, corporate as an officer, out of which minimum 3 years experience in any of the following verticals. So 8 years of work experience is required in bank, PSU, NBFC, corporate, out of which 3 years should be in liquidity, risk management, interest rate risk, IRRBB, operational risk management, market risk, treasury, credit risk, right? So desirable certifications are there, but these are not mandatory. It's all same for the risk manager Scale 3, but work experience required is 5 years, out of which 2 years should be in the liquidity risk, operational risk, market risk, treasury, and the credit risk. For Scale 2, again, there is difference in the work experience required. Instead of 5 years, 3 years of work experience is required, out of which 1 year should be in liquidity risk management, interest rate risk, operational risk, market risk, treasury, or the credit risk. Okay. So in case of dual specialization, one must be in the prescribed field. In case of major, major should be in finance, right? So let's start. So more than 2 specializations are not acceptable. Dual specialization is acceptable. Probation period is there for 1 year, and there is a bond amount. Appointed candidate must serve for 2 years. 1 year's probation period, 2 years, they must serve for 2 years and give 3 months written notice before resignation. And the bond amount is 3 lakh rupees. So repayment of 3 lakh rupees, salary for unserved notice period, and training cost incurred by the bank, all that has to be paid while leaving your job. What is the selection process? Shortlisting of the application. There is a written exam. So let's discuss the written exam. There is English language, professional knowledge, reasoning, and quantitative aptitude. So reasoning, English, and quantitative aptitude, it remains the same. 20 questions, 20 marks. 40 questions, 40 marks for reasoning, 40 questions, 40 marks for quant, and 60 questions, 120 marks for professional knowledge. So 160 questions, 220 marks are there, and you need to answer all that within 2 hours. So the final list would be made on the basis of marks secured in professional knowledge. Professional knowledge के basis पे ही final list बनेगी. Rest of the subjects are in qualifying nature. All these subjects, they are English, reasoning, and quant. They are qualifying in nature. These sections will not be reckoned for the final result, and there is negative marking of 1/4 for all the wrong answers. Cutoff would be decided later on after you appear for the exam. So interview would be of 100 marks, and minimum marks required. Qualifying marks in the test and the interviews is 40% for the unreserved or the general category and 35% for the reserved category. So written exam ka weightage is 80%. For interviews, the weightage is 20%. So syllabus for English language, there is reading comprehensions, para jumbles, vocabulary based questions, error spotting, closed test. So there will be a lot of questions from reading comprehension. For reasoning ability, coding, decoding. It starts with coding, decoding, syllogism, inequalities, machine input, output, puzzles, sitting arrangements, Direction sense test, blood relations, problems based on ages, ranking and order, data sufficiency, statements and conclusions, statement and assumptions, statements and arguments. For quantitative aptitude, data interpretation is most important. Data interpretation alone can help you to crack the sectional cutoff, right? Anyways, the quantitative aptitude is in qualifying nature. Data sufficiency, number series, time and work, time, speed and distance, approximation, simple and compound interest, ratios and proportions, averages, mixtures and allegation, pipes and systems, problems based on trains, percentages, partnerships, profit and loss, algebra and quadratic equation. That's it. For credit analyst, financial credit analyst, what is the syllabus? It starts with the analysis of financial statements, ratio analysis, cash flow statement, fund flow statement, project appraisal, working capital management, working capital committees, recommendations, common size or trend analysis, credit risk appraisal, credit policy, types of borrowers, types of credit facilities, credit delivery, 5 C's of credit, credit scoring, rating models, loan structuring, term loans, working capital finance, security, collateral guarantees, covenants, retail versus corporate credit appraisal. Then emerging trends in the banking, types of loans, fintech in the credit industry, ESG risk, sustainable finance, etc. Then risk management and monitoring, credit portfolio risk, stress testing, IRAC norms you have to do as well, laws related to the banking, early warning signals, risk mitigation with hedging, collateral and guarantees, RBI circulars and master circulars, priority sector lending, IRAC norms, KYC norms, Basel norms, exposure norms, housing finance norms, sovereign gold bond SHGs, and then laws related to banking, Negotiable Instruments Act, Coinage Act, IBC, SARFAIC, MSME, ED Act, Banking Regulation Act, RBI Act, Consumer Protection, RTA Act, and the FEMA. For the financial analyst, you start with the accounting and financial reporting, preparation and analysis of financial statements, accounting standards, revenue recognition, depreciation, leases, deferred taxes, off balance sheet items, segment reporting, quantitative and analytical tools, time value of money, probability, statistics, hypothesis testing, time series basics, then capital budgeting and corporate finance, NPV, IRR, cost of capital, weighted average cost of capital, capital structure, dividend policy, working capital management, working capital committees, mergers and acquisition basics, and then fixed income and debt markets, bond pricing, YTM, duration, convexity, yield curve, credit spreads, credit rating and debt analysis, securitization basics. In the derivatives, option, forward, future, swaps, hedging strategies, commodity and retail, real estate investments, basics of private equity and venture capital, economics and portfolio management, business cycles, inflation, interest rate, fiscal management and monetary policy, exchange rate and international finance, CAPM, portfolio theory, risk return trade-offs, performance attribution, alpha, beta, Sharpe, Renault ratios, and then RBI circulars, the priority sector, IRAC norms, the KYC norms, Basel norms, exposure norms. All the RBI circulars for the last 1 year, we are going to cover that. All the regular circulars, we are also going to cover that. In the laws, the same laws are there. Negotiable Instruments, Coinage Act, IBC, SARFAIC, MSME, ED, Banking Regulation Act, RBI Act, Consumer Protection Act, RTI Act, and FEMA, right? In the module I, government schemes, the PM Vishwakarma scheme, Mudra Yojana, Jandhan Yojana, Awas Yojana, Svnidhi, and then Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, MSME Samadhan, PM Suryagar, CGTMSC, PME GP, all these government schemes, lot more government schemes are there, which we are going to cover. For the risk management, foundations of risk management, types of financial and non-financial risk, credit market, operational, liquidity, reputational, risk management framework and governance, role of CRO, risk committees and board oversight, risk appetite and tolerance, credit risk management, credit appraisal systems, credit risk models, various models are there, credit rating, scoring, migration analysis, credit derivatives, securitization, NPA management and IRAC norms, provisioning, restructuring, Interest rate risk, currency risk, equity and commodity risk, value at risk, variance, covariance, historical Monte Carlo model, duration, convexity, gap analysis, trade book versus banking book, RBI guidelines on the market risk, operational risk management, definition and sources, measurement approaches, key risk indicators, operational loss database. We are going to do that. Cyber risk and technology risk. So liquidity risk and asset liability management, liquidity coverage ratio, RBI guidelines on liquidity risk, maturity mismatch, structural liquidity statements, stress testing liquidity, ALM committees and practices. So Basel norms, we are going to cover all the pillars, capital adequacy ratios, ICAP, RBI's risk-based supervision framework, stress testing and capital planning. Enterprise risk management, integrated risk management approach, CUSO framework, risk adjusted performance measures, ICAP and ICAP ILAP, integration, risk culture and communication, emerging risk and the special topics, climate risk and the ESG risk management, fintech and digital lending risk, cyber security, systematic risk and contagion in the financial systems, black swan events, crisis management, all that we are going to do. Basel norms we are going to do. In the module J, RBI guidelines, we are going to do priority sector lending norms, IRAC norms, KYC, Basel, exposure norms, all that we are going to do. Last 1 year of RBI circulars we are going to cover. In the laws, the same laws, the negotiable instruments, RBI, banking regulations, SARFAIC, MSME, ED, coinage, FEMA, we are going to cover all that. The government schemes we are going to cover, the Vishwakarma, Awas, Mudra, Jandhan, Samadhan, PM Surya Ghar, PMEGP, CGTMSE, lot many other schemes are there. So students, Indian Bank Specialist Officer course is available on BankExamsToday.com for the financial analyst, credit analyst and risk managers. Link is available in the description. We start with the professional knowledge section. All the links are available in the description. Please check it. If there is any doubt in your mind, this is our WhatsApp number where you can ask your doubts and we are going to answer all your doubts. So list of our successful students in the past. All these students, they took our courses in the past and they cracked their respective exams and we are really happy for them. You can be one of them in the future. And yes, you are going to be one of them in the future for sure. If there is any doubt in your mind, please ask your doubts and we are going to answer all your doubts. That's all for today, students. Thank you and have a very nice day. Bye-bye.